What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. It's Thursday. That means it's time to talk about the new movies opening this week. And it is Halloween. So I decided to do this video in my Jason mask. So why not? I really, it's pretty cool to do videos in a Halloween mask. So, hey, anyway. With that being, now, of course, I'm going to be talking about the new movies opening this week. Now, not really any horror films out this week, but, there's still some interesting stuff like Why, Netflix, and all that. So, with that being said, here are the films opening this week. Alright. Anyway, the first film opening this week is the big one, and that is Terminator Dark Fate. Kind of odd I'm talking about a Terminator movie while wearing a Jason mask. But anyway, Terminator Dark Fate, I think looks really good. Lots of early critics are saying that it's the best Terminator since the second one, which isn't saying much, obviously. You got Anna back, Linda Hamilton's here. You got some newcomers to it, directed by Deadpool director Tim Miller. I think this looks really cool, fun. Cannot wait to see it. Alright. Also out this week, there is a film called Motherless Brooklyn, which is about a lonely private detective afflicted with Tourette syndrome, and he tries to solve the murder of his mentor, played by Bruce Willis, and he's also like his only friend as well. Now, this is based on a book. This also stars people like Ed Norton, who plays the lead, Bruce Willis. You also got Bobby Cannavale, William Dafoe, who's pretty big right now. He's been big before, but he's in a lot of stuff now. Gugu Mafia in this, Leslie Mann. I adore Leslie Mann. You got Alex Baldwin in this, Michael K. Williams. This looks great. I'm a big sucker for these for these gritty films. It is like it does take place in the 50s, and it looks pretty cool. I like Ed Norton, so anything Ed Norton is in, I'll definitely give it a watch. So hopefully it's something pretty good. Anyway. Alright, also out this week, there is the anime film Arctic Dogs, which kind of looks horrible. I love anime movies, but there are some anime films aren't, that either don't look good or, that new Playmobil movie does not look good. Arctic Dogs is another one of them. This movie looks badly awful. I do like the voice cast involved. Like, you got Jeremy Renner, James Franco, the aforementioned Alex Baldwin is in this, Heidi Klum, Omar Sy. You got Angelica Houston, John Cleese. But this looks, for one, it's from director Aaron Willie, who also gave us that movie Spark, which was another bad anime film. This really doesn't look good at all. I'm actually gonna see this probably tomorrow after I see Terminator. So yeah. All right. Also, out this week, there is the film Harriet, which is about freedom writer Harriet Tubman. Now, this has Cynthia Erivo in it. I adore Cynthia. I think she's a pretty great actress. You also got a really great cast involved with this. It's I don't think we ever really had an actual Harriet Tubman biopic, so this could be something pretty interesting. And I'm I haven't seen the movie yet, but just from the trails, I can tell you that Cindy is probably going to get some Oscar love for this because she looks that great in this. So hopefully, I'm hoping it's good because it looks really solid. All right. Also at this week, hitting select theaters and going to Netflix later this month is The Irishman, which is of course directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino. This looks great. I do love a good gangster movie, especially ones that are based on a true story. You've got the Bobby Diaz in this. I'm a big Al Pacino guy. Joe Pesci is always great. Like, it's pretty cool seeing Pesci back. Cannot wait for The Irishman. So, this literally has Oscars written all over it. All right, another Netflix film that's opening limited release this week and hitting Netflix like in 2 more weeks is Earthquake Bird, which stars Alicia Vikander as a young female expert expat who is suspected of murder after her friend goes missing in the wake of a love triangle with this local photographer. You also got Raleigh Keough's in this, Jack Houston. Earthquake Bird looks really interesting. It looks really intriguing. I mean, I'm a big Alicia Vikander fan, so anything she's in, I'll definitely give a watch. So I'll probably give this one a watch when ever it hits Netflix. There's a French film called Queen of Hearts, where this woman jeopardizes both her career and her family when she seduces her teenage stepson and is forced to make an irreversible decision with fatal consequences. I mean, hey, I do love me a good love triangle based movie, and of course, this looks interesting. I mean, I don't really watch, like, there's not really much French movies I watch, but this probably is one I'll probably give it a go. Alright. Also opening this week, there's a film called Adopt a Highway, which stars Ethan Hawke as this guy who was just released from prison, but he's like serving a 21-year sentence, and along the way, after he's like leaving for work, he ends up pretty much finally like he ends up having like a father and a toddler relationship with his toddler he just found in a dumpster, and he pretty much takes the kid home like if it was his own. Now this is directed by Logan Marshall Green, who also starred in that movie Upgrade. He also is I guess you could say Tom Hardy's twin, if you will. This also has Ethan Hawke. I think this looks really intriguing, and I like Ethan Hawke, so anything he's in, I'll definitely give a watch. Alright. Also out this week, there's a film called The Etruscan Sun, which stars Brian Cox as Rory McNeil, who's this rogue Scotsman who ends up reluctantly leaving his beloved isolated harbor-ridden island and travel to San Francisco to seek medical treatment. And he also pretty much goes to see pretty much moves in with his estranged son named Rory, played by J.J. Field, and he tried to have like a newfound love for his grandson as well. He also stars Rosanna Arquette. You also got Tim Matheson, Pierre Coyote, Dora Birch. You also got Treat Williams. This looks really intriguing. I mean, I think it looks interesting. I like Brian Cox. He's an awesome actor, so why not? There's also a film called Light from Light, which stars Jim Gaffigan as it's kind of like a thriller here. I don't know much about that. There's a film called Mrs. Laurie and Son, which stars Timothy Spall as this British author named L.S. Laurie, who ends up having a relationship with his overbearing mother named Elizabeth, played by Vanessa Redgrave. I take that back. There is a horror movie coming out this week, but it's not really opening wide. It's more like a home to video DVD based thing. It's called Creepidus, and it's pretty much about like a killer clown that stars one of my favorite horror actors, Bill Moseley. So, hey, killer clowns are hot right now with it. And I mean, why not? There's some horror film called Bloody Mary. No, not Bloody Mary. Bloody Marie, I meant to say. It's about this once successful graphic novelist who lives in in the Amsterdam red light district, and she of course drinks too much and gets into a conflict after another and a horrific incident in the house next door forces her to take action and get her life back on course. This could be interesting. There's some documentary called "To Be a Service," which is pretty much about veterans with PTSD who finds help pretty much help be friends with service dogs. Which, hey, I mean that sounds really heartbreaking. Like I do love me a good service like movies like a documentary about army services and like this plus relation about relationship with dogs and veterans. I mean, this looks could be pretty interesting. All right, some film called Cubby, which I don't know much about. Some film called Badland, which is about a detective who is hired to track down Confederate war criminals that meet determined pioneer women. It stars Maria Sorvino, Trace Atkins, Tony Todd. You've got Bruce Dern in this. Wes Studi. Congrats to Wes Studi, by the way. He was honored with an honorary Oscar, so kudos to him. This does not look so good, to be honest with you. This looks like those not so good home to video releases. I mean, this movie looks bland, looks horrible. I mean, it has Trace Atkins, so I like Trace Atkins, but yeah. There's also some film called Inside Game, which is actually based on the like which is based on real life story of Tommy Martino, played by Scott Wolf, who along with his two childhood friends, who's an NBA referee named Tim Donaghy, played by Eric Mabius, and a bookie named Baba Batista, played by Will Sasso, has to hatch a foolproof scheme to make millions in betting on NBA games. Wow, that sounds interesting. I mean, I like the cast in this, so could be cool. There's also a film called The King, which is about Henry V, who encounters a deceived war treachery after becoming king of England in the 15th century, and in the aftermath of his brother's death. It's directed by War Machine director David McCod. It stars Timothy. Now this is coming to Netflix, by the way. It stars Timothy Chalamet, Robert Pattinson, Joe Egerton, Johnny Depp's daughter Lily Rose Depp, Thomasin McKenzie, Sean Harris, and Ben Mendelsohn. I mean, I know the reviews have been good, but I haven't really. To me, it doesn't really look all that good or appealing. I mean, I'll probably watch it anyway because I like Timothy Chalamet and I like the other cast, but yeah. But Robert Pattinson is also one of my favorite actors right now. Let me just put out there. There's another there's another Netflix film premiere this week called Holiday in the Wild, which is after here's what it's about. After her husband ends their marriage, Kate embarks on a solo second honeymoon in Africa. There, she and Derek, who's a pilot, rescue a baby elephant, and while nursing on the nursing the elephant back to health, Kate discovers how much she pretty much like loves her new surroundings. Uh, it also stars Kristen Davis from Sex and the City fame and Rob Lowe. I mean, this looks like a blended. This feels like a those Hallmark based stuff, and I don't know. Hallmark stuff has been okay. Like Hallmark holiday movies could be hit and miss. I don't know if this is gonna be hit and miss, but it is a Netflix release, and sometimes they could be hit and miss. So, all right. Also, now last but not least, also premiering on Netflix is America's Son, which is about a strange couple who reunite in Florida in a Florida police station to help find their missing son. Yes, this film stars Kerry Washington, Stephen Pasquale, and Jeremy Jordan. I mean, this looks this looks interesting. I mean, it's based on a Broadway show, which I never really seen the Broadway show. But hey, I like Kerry Washington. I mean, I'm not really into Scandal, but only time I only watch Scandal is because Kerry Washington's on it. So yeah, but I adore Kerry Washington. Other stuff, whether you talk about Django Unchained, Ray, Kerry Washington's just awesome. So anything she's in, I'll probably give a watch. But lots of pretty interesting stuff. But let me leave to you guys. Which films are you interested in watching this week? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movie signing off.